You're listening to Sister Stargazers, celestial and terrestrial observations and advice from two real-life sisters. Welcome, fellow stargazers. Your sisters are in the house. Hi, Jude.
Hi, Sarah.
How's it going?
Not too bad. We're in the sandwich between the eclipses. And yeah, happy Earth Day, everyone that celebrated Earth Day yesterday. So this is good.
Yeah, it's episode 85. We're going to look at this last-ish week of April, Sunday, April 23rd through Saturday, April 29th. Let's jump in. Where do you want to go?
Yeah, well, I want to make sure I say this right off the top because there's the Lyrid meteor showers. It's April's shooting stars. And this year they last from April 15th to 29th.
Great.
So this last week of April will be a great time to get outside in the dark night skies.
Yes.
And there'll be about 10 to 15 meteors per hour expected at the peak. And the Lyrids are known for uncommon surges. So sometimes the rate can be up to 100 per hour.
Holy cow. Okay.
Yeah. So these are outbursts. They're not easy to predict, but they're one of the reasons the tantalizing Lyrids are worth checking out. So earthsky.org will give you some essentials for this. And the radiant for this shower is near the bright star Vega and the constellation Lyra. So going through the rest of the week now, we have Mercury retrograde, Uranus conjunct. So this is still going on. It's widening by the day, but it's still in play. So there might be within this 2-week period between the eclipses, there might be some surprising news that comes up. Pluto's in Aquarius, 0 degrees, square to the nodes, south nodes in Scorpio, the north nodes in Taurus. Pluto, our regenerative power. It's the biological regenerative power. It's the stuff going on kind of underneath the soil that we don't see, the microorganisms breaking things down. It's, ants chewing through the wood, the stuff that we don't usually really notice right away, right? So Pluto's that force that just keeps kind of grinding things down. It's in Aquarius, which is about science, technology. Aquarius can also be about gender issues. So Aquarius is androgynous. So we are seeing a lot of issues around transitioning, that kind of thing.
Yes, and rights and civil rights around it, all that.
Yes, absolutely. So Pluto's making a square back to the nodes. So the south node in Scorpio, the north node in Taurus. So Scorpio is where we need to release.
Yes.
The north node in Taurus is where we need to aim.
Yeah.
So Pluto's making squares to the nodes. And it's also making a square to Haumea in Libra, which is, we talked a little bit about this, I think, in the past couple of sessions. But Haumea is the Hawaiian goddess of regeneration, rebirth. She's akin to Pluto, but she has a much more positive, she's on the birthing side of things, where Pluto's on the unbirthing or the decaying side of things. So Haumea in Libra is calling for what is right, what is just, creating what is new and beautiful, what is efficient, what is perhaps pioneered, or creating with biodiversity, or creating with the design concepts of nature. That's Haumea.
Yes.
This dwarf planet Haumea and is in a square with Pallas in Cancer, which is in opposition to Pluto as well. So we've got this, it's a grand square because the south nodes in Scorpio, there's a square there. There's a square with Haumea. The north nodes in Taurus up at 3-4 degrees of Taurus. There's a square there from Pluto. And then there's a square from Haumea to Pallas in Cancer, and from Pallas in Cancer back to the north node. So there's this grand square happening in cardinal and a fixed sign. So it's kind of like this 2 steps forward, 2 steps back, 2 steps forward, 2 steps back kind of thing, because there's a lot of initiatory energy for growth, but then there's also a lot of pains that go along with that. And are we doing it right? We're second guessing ourselves, or we might be having a conversation like, well, this has always worked, but now it's not working. So there might be adjustments that need to be made in order to get to the new. So this is the kind of week that it is, along with this Mercury conjunct Uranus. So there's lots of ideas out there. There's lots of potential, especially for new beginnings with the solar eclipse last week. Yeah. So as we open up the week, Sunday, April 23rd, the moon conjunct Venus, which is just lovely. Venus is in Gemini.
Okay.
Mercury retrograde is in Taurus, conjunct Uranus, sextile Mars. So this is excitable. This is about a quickening. Something's moving forward, decisiveness, or we're going back over with Mercury retrograde. We're going back over ideas and reintegrating in order to accommodate new ideas in order to move forward. So there might be an upgrade required in our technical skills, but things will pace really quickly. Things will be pacing out. There's the potential for rapid progress all during the week.
Wow.
Monday, the moon ingresses Cancer, it sextiles Mercury. So again, this kind of uplifting of news, information, emotions kind of riding along with the great news or surprising news. And then the moon conjuncts Mars in Cancer. So this is, again, this kind of acceleration, a moment to step into some place of courage or leadership, or making a quick decision. So these are part of what the moon conjunct Mars in Cancer might mean. Again, it's kind of like taking steps forward, integrating what we know, reintegrating maybe some points from the past, upgrading our skill set. So Tuesday, the moon sextiles the sun, and then the moon trines Saturn. So moon sextile sun is really a very harmonious aspect, and it's upbeat. The moon is in Cancer, so it's really in its home sign. The sun is in Taurus.
Right.
So the moon will trine Saturn, which is also a really good time for establishing new habits and putting the time in and the emotional labor that might be necessary for a project to get off the ground. Like, how invested do you want to be in this thing? How much time do you want to put? How excited are you about it?
Yeah.
This is a really good time to kind of take stock of that and structure your time so that you have time to do what you want to do.
It's the first time I realized that we're out of Sun in Aries and now we're in Sun in Taurus.
Yeah, stuff is just rolling along here. I am just like floored with the speed of things. You know, I'm just.
It is. It's kind of awe-striking.
I really am. I'm like, I think I have time to get someplace, and I'm like, oh my God, it's like 5 minutes.
For sure.
Anyway, so
we were somewhere around Tuesday, maybe.
Tuesday, Wednesday. All right. So the last bit of Tuesday, the moon makes a sextile to the sun, and then the moon trines Saturn, and then the sun sextiles Saturn.
Okay.
So we have this day of Tuesday to be really organized about things, making steady progress. Again, it's going to be very hands-on.
Great.
Yeah, because the sun is in Taurus. It wants to get its hands into things. It wants to really feel like a sense of accomplishment. And Saturn's in Pisces, which is about our emotional nature and kind of stabilizing, getting things lined up, feeling really good about the work that we're doing.
Yes.
So this is a good time, Sun sextile Saturn, to make steady progress and also to reap rewards of past work.
Okay.
Also, I wanted to mention, and this is, I'm kind of lumping it into the middle of the week here, Wednesday, but Chiron, Eris, and Jupiter, this stellium in Aries is still ongoing, but it's separating. So it was much more active in the previous week. This week, it's still close. So Chiron's at 17, Eris is at 24, and Jupiter's at 25. But it's starting to get the distance between the planets, the dwarf planet and the Centaur and Jupiter are starting to just stretch out a little bit, but it's still in play. So this Eris-Jupiter is also making an opposition to Haumea in Libra.
Okay.
And a quincunx to Ceres. So this is, as much as the work that we've done over the last week and the news that we've gotten and the impetus to move forward, we are challenged to bring forth change.
Okay.
So this is also a second grouping of aspects that signify growing pains, or how to make a dream come true with the support of our resources, but without harming or depleting the bigger picture or the resources that we have, or, putting a plan in place that doesn't completely do some harm while we are trying to do good, right?
Yeah.
So there's a lot of push-pull with this Chiron, Eris, Jupiter, because we're thinking big.
Yep.
And we want to think differently. We're trying to disrupt the normal, disrupt the narrative. We want to heal. We want to do these good things, but how to make that happen without completely overworking or using up things that we really don't have.
This may be a good time to introduce the card that came out of the deck today, which is the Page of Pentacles. Ooh. And if I look into Lisa Robertson's book, Pathworking the Tarot, I just want to read a little bit about it because it's pretty much what you're just talking about. It says the Page of Pentacles deals with pretty much everything in the physical material world, including the things you can feel, taste, and touch. This is the page of material resources that makes up the physical world of matter.
That's Taurus.
That's Taurus. The page learns early on in the game of life that money is not the only way to be wealthy, and that most forms of abundance have nothing to do with money at all. It also talks about how the page learns to be close with its body, with health, with food, and how those things are linked to our beliefs about abundance. And it just goes on to say that the page spends each and every day collecting data, finding patterns, seeing how things connect. And it also goes on to say that it's a perfect card to work with when starting a healing journey. It may stretch your current beliefs, which makes it a perfect journeying partner. But it really resonates with what you're saying about how do we contribute to growth without just disrupting everything around us, like the interconnectedness of it all. The thing I also love about this page is that their feet are firmly on the ground. They are steady, and they're also connected to the earth, which is green and abundant, and sort of there's a farm in the background. There's trees, there's mountains, there's flowers. There you go. Page of Pentacles for this week.
I really love that. That's so good. And that grounding aspect, that is also Taurus. So, putting our hands and feet on the ground is going to be really helpful to just bring all of that energy in and help to anchor us.
Yeah.
And I'm always talking about that grounding. But if you go on YouTube and you search for the film, there's a film called Grounding.
Yep.
They go through all of the science. There's a rational science piece of this. It's not just woo-woo out there, but it's very, very real. And they've measured it, they've charted it, they've plotted it.
No, it's all about the interconnectedness of the physical world. Yeah. Awesome.
Yes. Okay, so as we move through the rest of the week, just finishing up, the moon enters Leo. This is a good one to really pay attention to. On Thursday, the 27th, the moon enters Leo, and it opposes Pluto. So the moon in Leo opposes Pluto in Aquarius. So this might be a good time to really check in and look at where Leo and Aquarius is in your specific chart. What houses are Leo and Aquarius in your chart? And you can go to astro.com and put in your numbers and stuff and place of birth, and they will calculate a free chart for you. But you want to look at those houses. So they're going to be across from one another. Okay. So the moon is our emotional nature. In Leo, it loves to be out and expressive. Opposing Pluto in Aquarius it's going to make you feel a little bit of a clamping down. This is a good time to really look at what is Pluto doing in your personal life. Where is Pluto kind of clamping down or moving through to kind of uproot or regenerate or break down? And this might also impact your emotional response is getting activated by an authority or power play. There might be some bit of that happening. The last quarter moon is also going to be Leo moon to Taurus sun. So again, a bit at odds, how to change, feeling stuck. Because this is a fixed sign last quarter moon. So you're wanting to, it's like trying to drive with a parking brake on, right? You're trying to move forward, but the brake is on. So you're staying stuck. You're staying still. You're fixed, in other words. So this is just another way to kind of get a grip on how this quarter moon might play out for you, especially with that aspect of opposing Pluto. And then the last thing I want to mention is Saturday, April 29th, Mars in Cancer sextiles Uranus in Taurus. So this is a great time. It's almost like the light at the end of the tunnel. You're getting to see what might be the potential. Mars in Cancer is very initiatory, but not in a big, like beating my chest kind of way. It's more like I'm ready. I've got all my things together. I've got the resources I need. I've got my emotional backup. My will is in the right place. Sextile Uranus. It's time to move forward.
Yes.
You'll be able to get through these obstacles in innovative ways.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
Thanks, Jude.
Yeah.
Listeners, you can reach us at connect@SisterStargazers.com. You can drop us an email there. You can check out the website, SisterStargazers.com. And we are still on Monday nights at 7 p.m. on WMPG.org. You can catch us at 7 p.m. Eastern for a live astrology show deep dive. We just want to wish everybody a great week. Thanks, Jude.
Thanks for listening, liking, sharing, and subscribing.
Sounds good.
Have a good week. Take care. Bye for now.
Thanks for listening to Sister Stargazers. Let us know what worked for you this week. Find us on Facebook and post a comment at Sister Stargazers.